Hey there, Yellow Room writers. So, last week we talked about what is an opinion essay? What's the purpose? What does it have? Why are we writing them? Things like that. This week we're going to start talking about topics. Now, you don't need to worry about choosing a topic this week, but we're going to get some ideas. So, let's take a look at some different categories for our topics. So the first thing that we can think about, our first category, is a few of your favorite things. What are some of your favorite things that you think are the best? Right? So maybe it's ice cream flavors. Right? So if I were to write about ice cream flavors, I might say that strawberry is the best. That's my favorite kind of ice cream. You might say that hockey is the best sport. Or maybe you want to do a kind of a debate type thing and Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. Or maybe you're like me and you're of the Coca-Cola camp, or maybe you prefer Pepsi. But what I want you to do for this category, for a few of your favorite things, is I want you to try to come up with as many possible ideas that you can. The more ideas that you have, the more possible topics you have, the better. But I want you to come up with at least 3. So I want you to have at least 3 things for a few of my favorite things that you could write about. Another option that we have, or another category we have, is a time for change. What are some changes that you want to see at home, in school, or throughout the world? Maybe you want to write about chores, that you don't think kids should have to do chores, or maybe you do think that kids should have to do chores. Or maybe you want to write about homework, or a longer recess. Right? Anything like that, something that you want to change. So with those, you can write, as usual, as many ideas as you want, but I want you to write at least 2. So for a time for change, I want you to try to come up with at least 2 options, at least 2 things that you would want to see done differently or changes you want to see. Another option is of great importance in the past. So who are some important or influential people from throughout history? So these are people that we may have learned about in social studies, or that you may have seen a movie about, or something like that. So maybe you want to write about Jackie Robinson, or George Washington. And when you're coming up with people that are of a really great importance to the world or to your community, what you will be arguing is that they are important. You know, your opinion might be Jackie Robinson is important to the community, or George Washington was an influential person during history. So I want you to try to come up with at least one person. Another option for of great importance in the past would be important events, inventions, or discoveries throughout history. So maybe the discovery of electricity, or gravity, or maybe an important event like, I don't know, anything you want, really. So I want you to try to come up with at least one important event, invention, or discovery from throughout history. And on the flip side of that, some present day people. So some important people or influential people in the world that we live in today. So people that are alive today. or that have been alive during your lifetime. So this might be somebody like Kobe Bryant. Or anybody. Anyone who you believe is important or influential that has been alive during your lifetime. Right? Or maybe Bill Nye. From Bill Nye the Science Guy. I don't know, anybody. And then also some important events, inventions, or discoveries of present time. So things that have happened, been invented, or discovered during your lifetime. Things that have happened during your life. So during my life, things that have been invented are like the iPhone or selfie lights. I don't know, anything really. So just like with our other of great importance, I want you to try to come up with at least one person and at least one event, discovery, or invention. So at the end of this, you should have three of your favorite things, 2 things that you want to see changed, 1 important person or influential person from the past, and 1 historical event, invention, or discovery, 1 important or influential person from your lifetime, and 1 event, invention, or discovery of your lifetime. So that means that you will have, a certain number, at least a certain number of potential topics. So you should have at least 9. You can have more than that. You might fill up that whole box with some of your favorite things, right? And that's totally fine. The more options that you have, the better. But I want you to have at least 9 possible topics. Then on this second page is just kind of an optional page. If there are other topics that you have an opinion about or things that you might want to write your opinion essay about that don't necessarily fit into these categories, or maybe you filled up so much space in your of great importance in the past, you need some more space to write down some other ideas for that category, you can use this page. So this is just kind of an extra page. So maybe there is another topic or another thing you have an opinion about that doesn't fit in those categories. You can put this here, or if you need more space to write your topic ideas, you can use this space here. So that's the first part of your task. You're writing your minimum 9 possible topics. Once you're done, once you have all of those topics or all of those possible topics written out, I want you to go through and I want you to star. So you can use the little asterisk star or a star or a highlighter or whatever, but I want you to indicate your top 3. I want you to indicate your top 3 choices. So maybe you have Kobe Bryant and Coke versus Pepsi and more recess, right? Maybe you have George Washington and the Revolutionary War and less homework, right? Those are your top 3. So I want you to go through your at least 9 possible topics, and I want you to star 3 of them, your top 3. Because next week, we're going to be diving a little bit more into that top 3. Now, when you star that top 3, that does not necessarily mean that those are the ones you have to write about for next week, that we have to dive into for next week. You might start diving into those topics for next week and find that you might not be able to write a ton about that, or you may not like it as much as you thought you did. And that's fine. But I want you to have some that you really want to focus on, okay? So if you run into any problems, have any questions, you're not sure about something, you're not sure what category to put something in, or you can't think of something for a category, please let me know. I am here and I am happy to help. So remember, you need to have 3 favorite things, 2 a time for change, one person of great importance from the past and one event, invention, or discovery from the past, one person of great importance from your lifetime, and one event, invention, or discovery from your lifetime. Total of 9 topics. Okay, 9 possible topics. Then you're going to star your top 3. Remember that you have this second page if you need more space. If you don't need more space, you do not need to worry about that page. I don't know why that just decided to shut down and start updating, but that's fine. Alrighty, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see all of y'all tomorrow.